Morning, guys. We're on Revelation chapter 17, reading from verse 9. And it says in verse 9, "Here is the mind which has wisdom." And so we come into a section that's not easy to understand and interpret. And so it's difficult to be dogmatic. So this is just really my thoughts on it, but trying to stick to the text without trying to symbolize it too much and go into weird and wonderful theories. Let's just try and see what the text is saying. It says the 7 heads are 7 mountains. So we saw those 7 heads on that beast, and we saw the 10 horns. And the scripture says clearly that these 7 mountains and 7 heads that are coming out of the beast. Remember, the beast is the antichrist system of the day, the world power. The scarlet woman on riding that beast is Babylon, the city, the religious headquarters of the world, and Antichrist at this time is bringing them all together. And now John is kind of getting the big picture of this this beast and this woman, this harlot riding the beast. And so out of this beast come 7 mountains, which are 7 kings, it says. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits, and they are 7 kings. Okay, so these 7 mountains and 7 heads that are coming out of this antichrist system are 7 kings. And this antichrist system, antichrist is there's always been antichrists. It's not just one antichrist at the end. There's been many different antichrists. Remember, we spoke about the Tower of Babel, and then God confusing their languages. And from the Tower of Babel, people separated into all the world, and that religion went, and the Antichrist and Satan tried to establish other world powers. He always wants to get into the power of the biggest heads of the world. And these world powers, 5 of them it says, have fallen. So they've gone. So at this time that John's writing, which would have been in the period of the Roman Empire, 5 had already gone. And the ones that are linked to Scripture and were world powers would have been Egypt, Assyria, and then Babylon, and then the Medes and Persians, and then the Greek Empire. So those 5 are now behind them, and John is sitting at that time in the current world empire being Rome. And Rome is the one that the 7 mountains are today. So that's one of the good theories that could be that this all is linking to Rome, and out of Rome comes these systems. So it goes on to say 5 have fallen, one that is Rome, the other has not yet come. Okay, so as John's writing, there's going to be, even now we're waiting for that final Antichrist empire to arise. And when he comes, he must remain for a little while. So it is not an empire that remains for a long, long time. It kind of rises up and then it falls again. Verse 11, the beast which was and is himself also an 8th. So when it falls, that 7th empire falls, the Antichrist empire falls, it then rises again to be an 8th empire. And so most commentators, some would have reference to when the Antichrist dies from that incurable disease and then raises himself up again to become the 8th empire. And it says also an 8th and is one of the 7, and he goes to destruction. Ultimately, what this whole chapter is about is that although God is allowing Satan to rise these empires up, and there will be another empire coming, that he will rule the world with great power. The economy, everything will be under his rule. But that kingdom will come down to destruction. We see those 10 toes in Daniel chapter 2. And we see the rock of Christ coming down and smashing those toes. And so Christ will come down and he will destroy the satanic empire, and he will then rule with an empire that lasts forever and ever. So these are all temporary. Yes, they're satanic. The agenda, as we're going to learn more and more, what is the agenda behind this empire, so that we know what it is. Because we need to be equip ourselves. And so let's just make sure our eyes are on Jesus and that we are part of the empire that is eternal. So I trust you have a wonderful day. God bless.